and welcome to Sports Hub. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Modern Ntapechela Sinkala. Well, not a very good evening. Zambia is just from losing by a goal to nil at the hands of South Africa in the Africa Women Cup of Nations. That means Zambia will be fighting for the third and fourth playoff. So, well, that means they won't be going to the final. So South Africa will be going to the final and they'll be waiting to see who they will meet. The game is starting at 22 hours, the next game between Nigeria and the hosts Morocco. Right, so today I'm featuring an athlete who is multi-talented. She actively plays 3 sports codes. I'll introduce her shortly, so make sure you stay with us. Feel free to participate on the program by calling 0211 25 30 25 or 0211 25 08 43 or a WhatsApp message 0955 20 29 04. I'm emphasizing this WhatsApp line is only for WhatsApp, no calling, no text messages, only WhatsApp. So the number is 0955 20 29 04. If you are into social media, Facebook, you go to Sports Hub Facebook page, leave a comment there, then we'll pick that comment and read it right here, right now. Or you can go to Modern Sinkala Sports, that's on Facebook. So in terms of the segment we call How Much Do You Know Your Sportsmen and Women? Last week, there's a photo that I showed you. Unfortunately, I didn't receive any feedback. Those players, I asked you to name even 2. Who are those? So let me give the answer now. So on your left, the left of the screen, that's Rachel Kundananji, the one I hosted last week on the program, and followed by Nidi Mingilishi. Right now she is in Oregon, where she's competing in the World Athletics Championship. Unfortunately, she couldn't progress to the next stage. She was eliminated from the first round. And then there's Anita there next to Nidi, and then Suwilanji Mpondela. So one of the competitions there. So in case you didn't get it right, so those are your sports women. Today I have a question for you, and the question is very simple. Who scored Zambia's only goal in the final game of the inaugural COSAFA Cup? Who scored Zambia's only goal in the final game of the inaugural COSAFA Cup? You can call us on 0211 25 30 25, 0211 25 08 43, or WhatsApp message on 0955 20 29 04. I'll be so glad to hear from you. On Facebook, it's Modern Sinkala Sports or Sports Hub. You can search for those Facebook pages. Let's look at what happened over the weekend. We start with athletics. Earlier on, I talked about Nidi. So Zambia sent 2 athletes, Nidi Minglish and Muzala Samkonga. So Muzala Samkonga did very well. He participated in the men's 400 meters, which was on Sunday, and he was running in heat 3, and he clocked 45.82 seconds and qualified to the semi-finals of the competition. So well done, Muzala Samkonga. Nidi Mingilishi is the other participant. She participated in the 400 meters women, and unfortunately she didn't do very well. She finished 7th. Actually, she was last. She clocked 52.84 seconds and could not qualify to the next stage. So tough luck, Nidi Mingilishi, but all the best to Muzala Samkonga, who will be running in the semi-finals. Let's go to the Zambia Rugby Union League. There was only one match which was played in the President's League, and this was between Green Buffaloes and Roan, and Green Buffaloes beat Roan by 43 points to 15. Green Buffaloes 43, Roan 15. That's in the world of rugby. One game being played there in the President's League. Let's go to the Midlands Netball Association Mina League. Week 10 games played at NAPSA Sports Complex in Lusaka. So it was on Saturday, and Green Eagles beat NAPSA by 37 goals to 31. Sporting Action 22 Green Buffaloes 53. Then actually there were supposed to be 3 games. One game was a walkover. So Unza recorded a walkover victory over Mazabuka United, which amounted to 40 goals to nil. Then the game between Kwazi and Red Arrows was postponed. So was the game between Prison Leopards and Lusaka City Council. So we are told because of the AU Summit. So the men in uniform were involved in the AU Summit. Then in the men's category, ZNS McKinney 28, Green Buffaloes 25. Then Unza again recorded a walkover victory over Sun Power, 40 goals to nil. So we now go to Africa Women Cup of Nations. Wow. Zambia just lost just a while ago. But let's look at the quarterfinal results. So on Wednesday, 13th July, it was Zambia 1, Senegal 1. Then Zambia won 4-2 on penalties. Hezonali saving 1 and scoring 1 and sending Zambia to the World Cup, which will be held in Australia and New Zealand next year, 2023. That was very, very important. Then Morocco 2, Botswana 1. Then on Thursday it was Cameroon 0, Nigeria 1, South Africa 1, Tunisia 0. Then in the semi-finals, so Zambia played in the first semi-final, and Zambia just lost to South Africa by a goal to nil. A goal came just towards the end. It was a penalty, and South Africa scored that penalty. That's how South Africa have gone through to the final. So at 22 hours, it will be Morocco taking on Nigeria, who will meet South Africa in the final. So that game is coming up next. Let's now go to the COSAFA Cup 2022. Zambia are the champions, but let's look at how they played in the semi-finals. So on Friday, it was Namibia 1, Mozambique 3, then Zambia 4, and Senegal 3. Well, this was a thrilling match. We saw Zambia leading at some point by 4 goals to 1, but Senegal were determined and they started pulling goals one by one. They were almost equalizing if it were not for the post, but Zambia won by 4 goals to 3 and qualified to the final. So that was in the semi-finals. Then in the final, which was played on Sunday, we saw Zambia beating Namibia by a goal to nil, and that goal was scored by Albert Kangwanda from Kafue Celtic, and now he's on the books of Red Arrows. So that's Albert Kangwanda who scored Zambia's only goal. So Zambia, well done. That was the 60th COSAFA title, and I'm dedicating this song to the Chipolo Polo for winning the COSAFA, and it's done by 1J titled Mulwelele in the Sky.
mina ni mina aluwezeze awa kapte kise wunda music se amweze elisha ya captain wena ya wena
Pusta waimona Pusta waimona Pusta
Yes, many thanks to the Zambian national side, so-called the Chikorokoro boys for lifting the Africa Cup here. And before you lifted the AFCON, it was the same Sunday I can see the Republican President, Mr. Mike Ruchirufya Pavatosata, laying wreaths at Independence Stadium at the graves of those fallen heroes into the Gabonese sea coast. Remember, Zambians, you have made us proud. You have partially wiped away our tears to whatever happened in 1993 here. And here is a touching message. As you are heading to the World Cup, I need to inform the whole world that Zambians are now coming here. Many thanks to the Vuvuzela boys for boosting the morale for our national side.
Okay, one J there with Mulwelele. Yes, ichikombe chiri Mulwelele hapa in the sky. It's coming all the way from South Africa. That's the COSAFA Cup. Unfortunately, the girls have missed it by a whisker. Had they gone to the final, they were going to lift the trophy. But we'll leave it for another day. I'm sure at the World Cup, Zambia will perform wonders because Barbara Banda should be there. Rachel Kundananji should be there, and other players, Rachel Nachula, obviously should be there, Priska Chirufya, because there are no restrictions at the World Cup. Time for me to introduce my guest in the studio for today. She is a multi-talented athlete. She plays netball for Prison Leopards and the national team as well. Plays basketball for NAPSA Breeze and football for Prison Leopards football team. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Elizabeth Bwalya to Sports Hub. That's her there with a footballer's walk. I don't know if it's a footballer's walk or it's a netballer's walk. I don't know. Thank you very much for coming. You can come and join me here. Elizabeth Bwalya.
Thank you so much.
Wow. Playing all these sports disciplines, and I'm told you also played volleyball as well.
I started, then I just thought there are a lot of sports discipline that I'm into, and so I decided, no, let me cut out some. I used to run as well, but then I stopped.
Running as well?
Yes.
Oh, those Wemuntumo?
Yes.
That's too much. Okay, before we go into details, tell us who you are. Give us your background.
Okay, as you said, my name's Elizabeth Bwalya. I was born on the 13th of October, 1994, here in Lusaka, UTH to be specific.
Okay.
We're 6, and we're 2 boys and 4 girls. And amongst the 6 of us, 4 of us are into sports. One is a footballer at Buffaloes, Green Buffaloes, and then the 3 of us are with Prisons. There are 2 volleyballers, the ladies. Yes.
It's a family of sports indeed.
Yes.
So who inspired you to go into sports?
Our parents. Mom was a netballer and dad was a footballer. Dad passed on last year. And then mom still plays Madalas for Zesco.
Madala's netball?
Netball, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what sports score did you start with?
Netball. I started netball in 2004 when I was in grade 4.
When you were 10 years old?
Yes. I started with Edu Sports, Chawama Edu Sport. Then from there, I went to Kadingalinga Edu Sports, then NAPSA. That's where I even learned that's where I started my basketball, from NAPSA. Yes, and then from there I went to Prisons. For football, I started when I was when I was young, but it wasn't that serious compared to netball because mom was always there to push me with netball. Then in 2010, I trained with Green Eagles. By then, they didn't have proper sponsorship, so I thought, let me just drop football. And later, when I went to Prisons last season, when they started, I was like, okay, let me help them, because by then they didn't have players. So I was like, okay, let me
try football.
Yes.
Okay, but if I take you back to the school days, what were you involved in?
Netball mostly, and athletics.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so let's start with what's your favorite sport amongst all these?
It's netball. Yes.
Okay, so let's start with netball. So you started with EduSport,
Yes.
Kalingalinga EduSport.
Chawama EduSport, then Kalingalinga Chawama EduSport, that was 2004 to 2012. 2010. Then Kalingalinga EduSport, by then we graduated with these community sports. There's under 10, under 12, like that. So the time we could no longer play under 18, we were moved to Kalingalinga EduSport, where we joined the Mina League.
Okay.
Then from there, NAPSA spotted us.
Okay.
That was 2013 when we joined NAPSA.
So it's NAPSA netball team which spotted you?
Yes.
Okay.
From Kalingalinga EduSport.
Okay.
Then from NAPSA, after performing well, growing in sports, after the World Cup in Australia, that was 2014, Prisons spotted me. Then I was with Prisons, that was 2015.
Okay, so you've been with Prison Leopards for how long now?
From 2015 to date, I'm still with Prisons.
Okay, how can you describe your experience at Prison Leopards?
I'm growing, I'm learning, and there's sponsorship. That's a good thing. So they sponsor us. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I wouldn't complain.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So you've only played for four clubs in your netball career.
Yes.
Okay, what's your best position?
In netball,
Yes.
go attack. That's GA. That's my
Okay.
best position. But I play all attacking positions. That's center, wing attack, go attack, and go shooter.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I know that go attackers or shooters are supposed to be tall, and you're not that tall. How do you manage?
We're not supposed to be tall.
Okay.
We're supposed to be shooters. Supposed to be accurate. They have to have the movement. So it does. I don't think the height matters that much, especially when you're playing in GA. So if you have everything that you need to, you do everything that you need to do in the shooting cycle, then you are qualified.
Okay.
Yes.
I can see, is that a Prison Leopards jersey?
Yes, it is.
And which team were you playing? Was that NAPSA?
NAPSA in Kabwe, a tennis club.
Okay.
Yes.
So despite the height, you can even jump higher.
That's my strength.
Okay.
Yes, one of my strengths is jumping high. I think that's why I find myself in the ring.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. When first were you spotted to the national team?
That was 2013. 2013.
Okay. When you were just 19 years of age.
Yes.
Okay.
But I started with the under 20 national team.
Okay.
That was for Zone 6, 2012.
In 2012. Okay.
Yes, so that was the first I was spotted, even if it wasn't senior, but it was still national team. Then from there...
How was your performance there at Zone 6? How can you describe your performance?
Individually or generally?
Individually and as a team.
My performance was just okay, but as a team, we lost a game that costed us a bronze medal, so it wasn't okay. The performance wasn't okay. The fact that we lost a bronze medal, we came out fourth. That was for Zone 6, under 20, yes,
Okay.
which we hosted.
So that's where the national team journey started from.
That's where the national team journey started from. Quite all right. I was called at first for trials, dropped. That was when they were going, 2013, when they were going for a Diamonds Challenge in South Africa, but then there were 2 tournaments. Those 2 tournaments, we were given opportunities. For every player was given an opportunity. However, performed is how the team will be chosen for the 2014 World Cup. So I did participate in the Diamonds Challenge. Hence, there was I think there wasn't a good performance for those that went there. Hence, the coach requested that those that us that remained here join them. That was in Botswana for Africa Cup. That's where I went to perform.
So that's at the Diamond Challenge.
That's at the Diamond Challenge 2019.
No, that's 2019 in South Africa.
Yes, in South Africa, where we got the silver medal.
No, great. And were you a starter in this tournament?
Yes, I'm second from the first.
Okay, yeah.
I was.
Number 2 there.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Nice one. How can you describe the experience at the Diamond Challenge?
It was amazing. When you come back with the medal, the experience is amazing. It's not like you're going to participate, but you're going to compete. You know how it is. When you don't win, it's really bad for the country at large. But then if you win something, you are lifting the flag. So the experience was amazing.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but your biggest tournament that you participated in was the World Cup in Australia.
Yes, that was.
Then only as a young player, I think by that time you were 21.
Yes.
In 2015.
Yes.
And you were picked to go and represent the country at the World Cup. How did that happen? And which coach was there?
Charles Zulu.
Okay.
Yes, coach of Nkwazi Netball Club, and currently our head coach, national team. It was good. The fact that at that tournament I was the youngest player amongst the Zambians that were picked.
That means you are very exceptional for them to pick you to be part of the World Cup squad.
They had hope, especially my coach, believed in me. For him to pick me, he really believed in me. He saw how I performed in Botswana for Africa Cup. With that performance, everyone, the executive and everyone that was around thought, let's give her a try. And they did give me that chance.
Okay. How many matches did you play there?
I played, I think, 7 or 6. I missed out the first game against Uganda. We had a loosening program where I hurt my hand, so I couldn't play the first game. But then the rest of the games I did play.
Okay.
Yes.
So injuries are common in netball as well?
They are common. All the parts of the body. You would hurt your hand, you would hurt your leg. They are very common in netball, yes.
Okay. So at that World Cup tournament in Australia, I remember Zambia finished, I think it should be 14th out of 16 teams.
Yes.
Yeah. What happened at that tournament?
It was our first time playing that biggest tournament. So we're playing against countries that had a lot of experience and still have experience. We're probably, I would say we were getting there. It being our first game, and you talked about the height. Yeah, so for us, it was the opposite. Our defenders were short, and the shooters, oh my God, you would jump 1,000 times and not catch the ball. So, and there were some games that actually we were supposed to win, but we made a lot of mistakes that costed us. And then at least would have come out top 10, but then we couldn't because of the other games that we couldn't win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a disadvantage to Zambia when it comes to height? Because I've seen Zambia struggling against Uganda because Ugandans are very tall.
Yeah.
They struggle against South Africa and struggle against Malawi. Do you think the height is an issue?
Yes, I would say yes, it might be an issue. And secondly, I think it's just with us. If you remember, I don't know if you watched the game, the Africa Cup that we hosted, that was 2019. We won Malawi, but then we wouldn't talk about the height because we won. I think for us, it comes back to us, the ones that are playing, decision making, and then we don't have a fighting spirit to the last whistle and the like. So it's with us. So height, if we are able to win Malawi with that height, and if we're given a game against South Africa, would play the first quarter. I would say scores are not bad. Like the game that we played in South Africa, Diamonds Challenge, that game we lost it in the last 2 quarters. So it's with us, it doesn't matter. The height doesn't matter. I don't think it does.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. After the World Cup, I know you also had the chance to go to Singapore
Yes.
to play. Is it food and nations, something like that?
Food missions.
Oh, food missions.
Yes.
Yes, and Zambia, surprise, you won that trophy. You were the champions. How was that tournament?
That tournament was amazing. We had a gold medal for the first time. National team. I have a gold medal. Netball national team.
That was your first gold medal.
My first gold medal, and still the only gold medal that I have. Yeah, so we went there. We had to do our best, and everything. Surprisingly, we won all the games, unbeatable. Yes.
Ah, okay. Who are some of the players who were there in Singapore that you can remember?
My teammates?
Yes.
There was Helen Banda from Kwazi, Lucy Jerez, Zambia National Service,
And
Dorcas.
that's the photo there. Zambia champions. That should have been 2016.
Yes, 2016. There's Joyce, Zambia Army, Gift Bunga, Zambian Army, Beauty, Zambia Army, Kaolo, LCC, Lenny, LCC. I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think was the motivating factor? What do you think led Zambia to win that cup?
I think we knew what we went there to do. Everyone was on the same page. There was communication, and there was motivation from the officials. So we obviously would win. Yes.
Okay. So when you came back in 2018, was it 2018 when Zambia hosted the African Netball?
2019.
2019.
Yes. 2018.
Yeah, that was 2019 at OIDC, and you were part of that.
Yes, I was
that
part
team.
of the team.
Unfortunately, you failed to qualify for the World Cup.
Yes, we failed to qualify because we couldn't win Zimbabwe.
That was the only mistake that you made.
And that was the only game we were supposed to win to qualify.
The all important game.
The important game.
But what happened really? Because you managed to beat Malawi. Then you failed to beat Zimbabwe, surely. What happened at that tournament?
I don't know what I would actually say. I don't know. Probably we lost it. But most games, when we play, when we compete, we lose our concentration at the end of the game. So that costed us. Yes.
Okay. Wow. And I don't know. So when you missed that World Cup, so now you are hoping to qualify for the next one.
Yes.
So you have another challenge. So you are part of the national team that is shaping up. How is it going?
The trainings are really hard because the tournament is very important for us. We need to qualify. We need to win to qualify for the World Cup next year. Yes, so the trainings, oh my God, I don't even know what to talk about them.
You can see one of the photos, I can see Coach Charles Zulu, and he's still your coach, not so?
Yes, he's still our coach.
Okay, you can see that was Charles Zulu and some other players. Where was that?
That was Singapore.
That was in Singapore?
Yes.
Wow. Well, that was great. So Netball has taken you everywhere, different places.
Yes, Netball has given me what others have had. Yes.
Where was that? Tell us more about that picture.
That was Singapore in the dressing room before the game. I think the morale and everything.
Wow. There, I think you are only 22 years of age.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so yes, so we're talking about preparations for the World Cup qualifiers, which will be held in South Africa in August. How do you think you should prepare? How much do you think you should prepare for you to reap the desired results in South Africa?
We need to prepare adequately. We need to be strong mentally, physically for this tournament because it is important, especially mentally, because at the end of the day we'll go there physically fit, but then like I said, most of the games we're losing it at the end, but then if we're not mentally strong and then we don't concentrate, we would still lose it even if we're physically fit. So we need to prepare.
Okay.
Yes.
So right now you have a blend of new players like Diana Namtowe,
Yes.
There's Gift Kaonga, all those. How are you blending?
Well, they'll catch up with us. I think the more we train together, the more we'll know each other because we're coming from different clubs. Yeah, so the more training we have with these, the more they'll have, and then for them, it would be the first time. Yes, so I think they just need to work hard.
Okay.
We all need to work hard. Yes.
Indeed, we've heard stories from the football circles where experienced players would intimidate the young ones. Iwe mwachewe takuli no elo wai safi wetawula mona kone filifionse. So you find that the young ones would play with fear. Nga walufia nyapa balankalipira. How are you treating the young ones?
That I don't think that is there. I don't see it. But way back when I was young, we could see that the senior players would intimidate us like that to say, no, you're just wasting your time. There's nowhere you're going, like that. And then you would even know before the training starts, like, you know, I'm not going to make the team. So with now, unless secretly that happens, but I haven't seen it.
Okay.
And I don't do that.
So the time you were joining as a young player, which senior players did you find? Obviously the likes of Diana Banda.
Yes, Diana Banda, Beauty, Nakazwe, Lucy Jere, Caro Mono, Mutafela, Margaret Mutafela.
Margaret Mutafela, the oldest player in 2015 at the World Cup.
Yes.
She was 45 at that time.
Yes.
Wow. So here is a 19-year-old, here is a 19-year-old, no, a 21-year-old and a 45-year-old playing in
Twice.
Wow. Okay. Okay, let's talk about basketball now. You are also an active player in basketball, playing for NAPSA Breeze. How did this happen?
Since I joined NAPSA Netball, I thought, basketball is interesting. Okay. Actually, I didn't start basketball when I was young. I started basketball when I was, that was 2013. When I was already old. So I thought it's an interesting sport. Let me try it out. That's when I started. That was 2013 when I was with NAPSA. So it was easy because with netball, we used to train at 14 and then basketball 16. So it was easy when I'm done with netball, then I joined the basketball. But then when I went to Prisons does not have a basketball team. And it's a sport I wouldn't want to stop. So Prisons know that I play basketball, and at times when we have international games, they would NAPSA would request, and then they would accept.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are based in Kabwe. How do you manage? NAPSA Breeze are based in Lusaka. How do you manage to train?
We train from Kabwe. We are the two of us, me and Ethel Pamba. Ethel Pamba was also in Netball with Prisons. Yes. And she's been part of the national team as well, only that this time she didn't make it. So we trained from Kuruma University, the two of us. Then if there's a game, we join the team on the weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
That should be very tricky. I'll ask you later on how you balance up the 3 sports disciplines. But what have you achieved at NAPSA Breeze?
A lot. Internationally, I would say traveling one. We would go as far as Malawi, and there would win. Locally, medals as well, wins. So I've achieved a lot with NAPSA.
What are some of the individual awards that you've won?
Internationally, I only won one, that was Bravehearts tournament in Malawi. I got most assist leader.
Okay.
Yes, and then for locally, I've had MVP.
Most valuable player.
Yes,
Okay.
and the
Wow.
gold medals. We've recently we were the league champions and the runners-up national championship games.
Okay. All right. Hope we'll be able to see some of the images where Elizabeth won some medals and also trophies in basketball. So you've only played for NAPSA Breeze, and you are content with the club.
Yes, as at now I am. But then if offers were to come, you know, I'm one person who doesn't stop just there. At the moment, I would want sponsorship with school. I'm going at school. I'm doing school right now. So if an offer would come to say we'll pay your school fees, then I would move because it's fair enough. But then for now, no such offers have come. I don't know why. So I'm still content with NAPSA Breeze.
Okay. But what's your dream team in the Zambian league?
NAPSA Breeze.
NAPSA Breeze, indeed. Okay. So I know the last time I hosted your playmate. Okay. So tell us about that photo.
That photo was in Australia. Oh, Singapore. Sorry, Singapore.
So that's netball.
Netball, yes.
Okay, that's one of the medals that.
The gold
Wow.
medal. Yes, the only gold.
Wow.
medal.
Okay. Wow. And that's you were natural hair there, right?
Yes. Then that was after my pass out.
Ah,
Yes.
prisons.
Yes, with prisons. When I was with prisons, that's when I went to Singapore. Yes.
Okay.
So it was after my pass out, and my hair was just growing.
Okay, but I know sportsmen and women like these funny hairstyles and all that. What's your favorite hairstyle?
It's just black. I don't have any funny hairstyle. I don't think I have that.
Okay, like do you change hairstyles based on the sports discipline you're playing?
Yes. If I have a game or I'm running, obviously I won't make the longest hair. That would be difficult for me to play. So would change. Yes. So I would plait something that's makes me comfortable. Yes.
Okay, and there I can see. Wow.
That was basketball MVP. Yeah, MVP awards.
Okay, and I can see you were with the former mayor there, former Lusaka mayor Mao Sampa.
Yes.
Ah, that was great. Okay, let's quickly go to football now. I know we'll come back to these other sports disciplines. Football. So when you went to Prison Leopards, they formed the team and they said, no, we're looking for footballers. And you said, why not? Let me try.
Yes, that's when I started. I started again. Yes, so it was that was last year, 2021, when they
Okay.
formed.
Was it the first time you were playing football?
I would say in the leagues, yes, it was my first time.
Okay.
After a long time, I'd started with Green Eagles, but then by then it wasn't so serious, so I'd stopped. Then 2021, I'd started.
Okay, I'm trying to identify you there, but I can't.
Fourth from my right.
Oh, fourth from the right of the screen.
Yes.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, okay. Okay, nice. Okay, I can see you now. A number, you're wearing just 7.
7, yes.
Is that your favorite number?
Yes, Akasembe.
Akasembe. What does that mean? It means you like tackling a lot.
Not really. Not really. I think just the name itself is dangerous. So that's why I don't even think I'm a striker.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, because we could hear when Prison Leopards is playing and they scored. Who scored? Elizabeth Bwalya. What? The basketballer? Yes. So, how can you describe your experience at the football team and playing in the Central Province League?
To start with, in the Central Province League, my experience was awesome because then I came out the top goal scorer and I had an award for that. So, and then going into the National League, as being the underdogs, we learned a lot and we look forward to having that second opportunity where I would at least perform quite well. So it was okay. I made new friends, I knew other people that I didn't know, so the experience was awesome.
How many goals did you score last season?
2.
Only?
Yes.
I thought you were the top scorer for the club.
The National League is a different league.
Okay.
Yeah, there's competition there. There are bigger clubs like Red Arrows. We were in a zone with the Red Arrows, but then even if we were not, there are other bigger teams like Green Buffaloes. So there you meet very talented players as well. So they won't give you an easy goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So 3 sports disciplines. So of the 3, with 1, you are with the national team. What are your hopes for these other sports disciplines to play for the national team? How do you feel about yourself?
For basketball, I would have started a long time featuring because I remember they would tell me there's a national team, you're part of the national team, but then it's just that they never travel. We never travel as ladies for international competition. So for basketball, since they called me once, I know they would call me if at all there would be any games. Then for football, fingers crossed.
Do you feel you are up to the challenge? You can challenge for a national team place?
Yes, I feel I would. I have the speed. I have what it takes. I'm confident, so I am up for the challenge.
Okay. If I to forever bola magozi muntunga mu 18 aingisha what? Are you accurate when you are in front of goal?
I am, especially my strength is the one-on-one. One-on-one, it's rare for me to miss, so I'm that accurate.
Okay. So tell us how you manage the 3 sports disciplines, because Prison Leopards based in Kabwe, so you play football, you play netball. So let's say in one weekend, if you are supposed to play, football team is playing, and netball playing, and also basketball, how do you handle it?
We set out first priorities. Of course, my first priority is netball. So hence, if they have the games, I play netball first. Then if there's no time to make it to the other game, then I don't play. But then mostly, you find there was this situation where we're playing netball and we're playing football, but the first game was football, and we hosted the games in Kabwe. I had played football, then rushed to come and play netball, where unfortunately I found that I'd started the first quarter, but then I joined them and continued playing. But mostly for netball, when we're having a tough game, for instance against Buffaloes, and then we have another game that's football on Saturday, and basketball, that's a no for me for these other 2 because I would play netball. That game is important as well, and as a team, they want me there. I'm important as well, I'm dependent as well. So for me, these other 2 is just a no. Unless
so your first calling is netball?
Netball, yes.
Okay. And I remember that weekend when you played, I think it was at President Stadium, when you played that game, then you had to go to the netball as well, to the netball court to go and play.
Yes. Yes, I don't think it was President Stadium, it was Mukobeko ground, staff training school ground, yes. But then I was late for netball. I still made it and I still played.
What are the rules if maybe someone has not been there when the game started? In some other circles, if you are not there when the game is starting, then you can't play the rest of the game.
For netball and basketball, if you can still play even if you find the game in the second quarter, as long as you're on that paper, you're on that list, you're registered. And for basketball as well. Basketball, even if you reach in the last 5 minutes, you still make it. You'd still make it. But for football, when the game starts, you don't. You're not part of the team, yes.
Okay. So are you a family woman, Elizabeth?
Yes, I am. I am a married woman with one child. Yes, who's 4 years old now.
Awesome.
Yes.
So a lot of responsibility. So you have to balance up at home. You have to train. You have to do this work also.
Yes.
So work, you are also, I know there are a lot of ranks at Prison Lab. I don't know, what rank are you?
I'm inspector.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Inspector Elizabeth Bwalya.
Yes, Inspector Elizabeth Bwalya.
Okay, yes. Interesting. So, so you managed to balance up all these work, home, the 3 sports disciplines. Do you have time for even for yourself and the family?
I have time for my family. Only that the challenge I have is that my family is here in Lusaka. My husband and my child are here in Lusaka. Then my work is in Kabwe. So when you have the time, during that time you're not training. For us, training Monday and Friday, we're not usually training. Then I have a chance to see them. And on the weekend we're playing. Just after the games, I'm here in Lusaka and Sunday as well. So with these 3-4 days, I'm always there with my family.
Oh, tricky fixture. The only other player I know who is involved in so many sports disciplines is Caro Mono, who is able to play volleyball,
Yes.
basketball, and netball. I don't know about football. I think maybe she's tried a bit, but hey, for you, it's quite a tricky one. So in terms of training, so you said you start at 14.
Yes.
With netball, is it?
No, with prisons it's different. The one I was talking about, 14, was way back when I was with NAPSA. But with prisons, we train in the morning. We start at 8:30 to 11.
Okay.
Yes, and then football, they delay finishing. So even when you're done at probably 10:50, you would still find them. You meet them. That's if you want to train with them and still train with them. Okay, it's the same place. We all train from Staff Training College.
Okay, I know training is so hard. I remember when I was at school, when you're doing trainings, you do that physical training, frog jumps, all that.
Yes.
Now, if you are to train for 3 sports disciplines, frog jumps, could you like 2 hours?
No, you wouldn't. For me, the coaches understand to say, if I was training netball and then I joined them with football, they know I did this. So the training, they won't give me a very tough training or a hard one or something. It will be a light training, yes.
Okay.
So I do manage, and my body has never gone off season, so it's like I'm always running.
Okay. So for now, you are lucky because basketball is off season,
Yes.
football is off season. So for now, you're only dealing with netball at the moment.
Yes, at the moment I'm just dealing with netball.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Before we wind up, Elizabeth, what's the biggest thing that you would want to achieve in your 3 sports disciplines that you are in?
This has always been my dream, and I hope it won't die. I hope it won't be too late. But my biggest achievement would be playing internationally. That would be my biggest achievement. It doesn't matter which sport, as long as I'm playing a professional, I go pro. That's my biggest achievement that I would want to make.
So, okay, let's say if it's in netball, then you become the first woman because no player has ever played a professional netball outside the country.
Yes, with netball, I would be the first, and mostly because it's my prior one sport. That's why I'm really crossing my fingers there.
Okay.
Yes.
If it's basketball, I know we've had some players like Tanzo Msundwe who played, I think, in Angola and so forth, and other players. But for football now, we are seeing so many players now are playing. So we shall see. So wishing you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So now you can't go without showing us your football skills.
Okay.
Show us the ball juggling skills even before we wind up. So the floor is yours. So the floor is yours there. Let's see.
With this outfit.
Elizabeth Bwalya, ladies and gentlemen. She plays football for Prison Leopards, plays netball for Prison Leopards, and plays basketball for Napsa Breeze. So the floor is all yours. Show us your ball juggling skills.
Oh, this ball.
Elizabeth, surely you're a footballer. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, well done. Thank you so much for coming through, Elizabeth. Okay, so this is where we end the program. I was hosting Elizabeth Bwalya, who is a footballer and also a netballer and a basketballer. So until next week when I bring another guest, but continue sending those messages on WhatsApp and also on Facebook. I'll check out, we'll read them next week. I asked you a question: who is the player who scored the only goal for Zambia in the inaugural COSAFA tournament? I'll be waiting for your responses. My name is Modern Tapechela Sinkala. Until next week, goodbye.